Hi everyone, I'm reviewing a beer that I got in the Chicago area last week, and they have shipped this to New England, to the Boston area, but I didn't snag it up because first time I had it last year when it was really fresh, thought it was pretty good, super great, a little boozy, and then I had it like a week later and the color had changed and it was not very good and it was like starting to oxidize, and I was worried of getting a batch that was like that again. So this one is almost a month old, like 4 weeks old, and I guess they went back to their original yeast blend for this, and a lot of people are saying that it's really good. I haven't tried this batch yet, but hopefully it's good, better than the last time I had it, and hopefully it's not oxidized, because I have had some of these juicy IPAs that even at just a month old, they can start changing color and not being as bright and fresh as they were before. So this is 8% alcohol. I don't know if I said it's the Juice is Loose double IPA from Transient. I didn't look up exactly the hops that are in this, but I'm sure it's Citra and or Mosaic and something else. Let's just do it. It is looking pretty good. A little bit darker than some hazy double IPAs, but I don't know if it's really, I can't really tell if it's getting grayish brown notes. It's not super bright, but I don't know if it's like, that's just how it looks or if that's from oxidation. I haven't really been following Transient as closely as I did last year, where I did notice that there was a huge variation of untapped pictures of this beer, where like one would look beautiful and bright and gold, another one would look really dark brown, gray, and muddy. That's pretty good. Head's nice, nothing wrong there. Not a huge aroma, but full of lots of cotton candy, really powdery, tropical fruit runts type things. Yeah, kind of a, not quite coconut, but pina colada, pineapple-y, but I get lots of cotton candy, juicy fruit. Yeah, there's got to be some Citra happening in here. A little bit peachy, but in a very sugary, candy-like way. Similar flavor. Some citrusy tang comes into it, but it's very sugary in the flavor too. Very, very, very low in bitterness. Not getting any like green dank notes or anything from this one. It's a pretty mild sipper. I do like it more than another double IPA I got from the Midwest that I guess is kind of comparable, but this has more body maybe. Has some body. It's not ultra super soft velvet on your tongue. And it's got a little bit of a drying feeling on the tongue, but it's not quite like towards unpleasant chalkiness that I've experienced a lot. It's lots and lots of tropical fruit. Really a big tropical fruit cocktail. That's what this beer is. Yeah, it's good. It doesn't seem like it's oxidized. It seems like it was better than last year. Last year, I remember even when I had it fresh, it seemed boozy and sweet. This one's not too boozy. I'm getting a lot of is it Honey Nut Cheerios malt type flavor? I don't know. It's just barely lightly toasty. Maybe they have oats in here because I know Cheerios are, I think it's all whole grain oats. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a good amount of oats in here. It isn't super duper bright maybe. It's not like big and citrusy. And it's sweet, but I still have just enough texture on my tongue to make me go back and want to sip more. Unlike the beer I mentioned earlier, it was actually Energy City's Hop Haida. I wasn't just a huge fan of that one. But I gave it to my friend who doesn't really like IPAs. He's like, oh, it smells really hoppy, but then you drink it and it's really good. And he's like, yeah, I could drink this. So that's one thing that's really great about these new hazy IPAs. It's opening the world of extremely hoppy beers to people who thought they didn't really like it. And this one is definitely doing that too. I think that's why it's kind of popular. It has pretty good ratings. But hopefully they've kind of figured out their batch variations. They've been working on it a whole bunch, and I guess they went back to their original yeast blend, but hopefully they've gotten better at packaging it, so there won't be as much dissolved oxygen, so it'll stay good longer. Because it is a pretty darn good beer. It's almost like reminds me of a slightly toned down Trillium double IPA, almost like Vicinity or something, ones that I like quite a bit that have that big candy, like cotton candy, super sugary tropical citrus thing happening. But I feel like this one is even lower in bitterness and dankness than Trillium's IPAs tend to be. But pretty close. Yeah. And I got some lacing. Has died down, not completely, but yeah, nothing really wrong with that appearance. And it does have a good, nice weight on the tongue. I wouldn't say it's super heavy, but it's thick enough to make, you know, the juice cravers happy. They do call it the juice is loose. Now finally, after a bunch of sips, I'm getting some sort of dank quality that's like intermixed with noticing some booze heat, but I'm not really getting that much booze flavor. Maybe that'll build up a little bit, but I remember last year, once it got a little warm and flat, it was like, ooh, it's like I'm just drinking some kind of vodka Malibu cocktail. And this might turn into that, but that's what a lot of people like about these beers too, is that it's got a complexity of these candy-like sweet elements, but then there's deep in there some resinous hop dankness. Yeah, it's definitely coming out of this one now. So once it warms up and once you can get your nose in there, it seems like if you pour it to the top, you can never get as much of a good smell, but once you get a little space in the glass there, yeah, there's just a very light, sort of generic dank bud aroma. Well, that's pretty good. I wonder how good it was like within a week. It probably was a little bit brighter within a week, and the dankness, as the dankness builds, I'm getting more grapefruit. It's kind of drying out my palate. Definitely has a grapefruit juicy quality that comes after all that sweet tropical stuff. I'd give this the 4 plus. I've been drinking a lot of really great hazy IPAs lately. Maybe in a different state of mind or place, I would give this a 4.25. But it's definitely quality. I would recommend this beer. I just wish that they would put the dates on their cans, because they might send this batch to Boston. I don't think it's gotten here yet. But if it gets here in 2 weeks and then people are still buying it 2 weeks after that, then it might not be in great shape. But it's definitely a 4 plus beer. And I'm glad I snagged it up, gave it another chance. Goodbye.